Hey, seventh grade. So last week we did stuff with circles and just circles. And so this week we are going to work with circles in conjunction with everything else. And so that's going to be um, contextual word problems. That's going to be circles here in compound shapes. And so we're going to see this all over the place. Now, this here is my examples page here. We're going to discuss, some strategies for each one of these. And then, so there's an answer key down here at the bottom. Guess what? The answers aren't going to do you much good on this one, just having the answers, because, it's more about the process. It's always about the process. And so this one is your homework page. And you see there's a lot of triangles, a lot of rectangles, a lot of circles. And so, let's go ahead and get started with some of these examples. So find the area of the shaded region in each figure. Use pi equals 3.14. So over here, it doesn't say use pi as 3.14, but that's what you're going to do. And then your final answer, round it to 1 decimal place if necessary. So that does not mean that use pi equals 3.1, because that would be incredibly wrong. So whenever you're rounding during the problem, you use 1 more decimal place than you use for your final answer. And that allows you to round a little bit more accurately. And so anytime it says round to 1 decimal place, that means at the end of the problem. So throughout the entire problem, you should be using 2 decimal places. And then at the end, cut it down to 1. And that will have a much more accurate answer. So still use 3.14 whenever you're looking at circles. All right. So find the area of the shaded region. And so this is like, I guess, a pizza pie. Well, really big pizza pie because that's 10 yards. But it's a pizza with a square cut out of the middle. Okay. So it says that the radius is 7 yards and that each side of the square is 10 yards. Now here's the deal. This was a pizza, a circle. And then we cut out a square. That means that we subtracted it. And so here, our plan of attack, it's always good to have a plan, right? We are going to take the area of the circle minus the area of the square, because that's going to give us what's happening here. And so the area of the circle then is going to be 3.14 times 7 squared, and 7 squared is 49. So 49 times pi is, dang, calculator. Okay. So 49 times 3.14 is 153.86. So 153.86. And then we are going to subtract the area of the square. And the area of the square is length times width, which is 10 times 10 in this case. And so that's 100. And so we're going to subtract, let me see if I can get my mouse clicker back in here. Come on. Here. There we go. Minus 100. And so that's a really easy subtraction. So 153.86 minus 100 is just 53.86, and this would be in square yards. Okay. So on to the next one. Now this one, we didn't subtract anything. And so instead of subtracting like what we did over here, we're going to add these two. We can break this down into the shape of a triangle and half a circle. Oh, okay, a half a circle. That's not too hard. So we're going to go area of the triangle plus half of the area of the circle. Okay, now The area of the triangle is 1/2 base times height. So base is 12, height is 9, and so 1/2 of the 12 is 6 times 9. 6 times 9, good Lord, 54, right? I hope so. I don't know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, so maybe it's not. And then half of the area of the circle. And so the circle, so I'm just going to put that 1/2 in here because we're going to find what the circle is first. The circle has a radius. This is not a radius. This is a diameter. So it has a diameter of 12, so its radius is 6. And so that would be 3.14 times 6 squared is 36. And so back to the calculator, 3.14 times 36 is 122.4. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut that in half. Divided by 2 is 61.2. And so here, that means that I'm going to have 54 plus, what did I just say, 61.2? Oh no, let's double check that. 61.2, okay. And so then I'm going to add 54 to this because I don't want to make a 15-minute movie. So there we go, 115.2. There we go. And so my area, oh dear, that is poorly located. Sorry, guys. 115.2, and this is in square inches. Okay. Easy peasy. All right, this right here. This right here is goodness, okay. This right here is a rectangle and a triangle. Very poor line right there, but you guys see what I'm getting at. And so this rectangle is, okay, hang on, back up. I said this is a rectangle and a triangle. The entire shaded space is that. And so this is going to be area of the rectangle and plus area of the triangle. Okay, so the area of the rectangle is pretty easy to do because it's 7 times 11. And so that's going to be 77. And then what about the triangle? Is this 14? Okay, no, this is not 14. If this part is 7, then that means that this part is 7 also. And if this part is 7 and the whole thing is 14, then that means that this part is also 7. What about this blue line right here? Well, if this whole side is 11 and this chunk right here is 5, then that means that this part right here is 6. And so the area of a triangle, again, is 1/2 base times height. So 1/2 of 7 times 6. Now, I'm going to write that over here. 1/2 of 7 times 6. I could go 7 times 6 is 42, maybe? Yeah, 42. I could do that and then take half of that, which is 21, which happens to be a number that I know. Or I could be like half of 6 is 3 times 7 is 21. Because all of those are being multiplied together, and so it doesn't matter what order I do them in. So 77 plus 21 is 98 square feet. This one is a kite, and you won't have any kites on your end, and I don't know if you guys did an area of kites because I don't think that that's a standard until Geometry 1 in high school. So I'm going to kind of gloss over this one, but what I will say is that this one was a circle with a square cut out of it. This one is a kite with a circle cut out of it. So let's say that this is like a really weird baseball diamond or something, okay? And this part is grass, and this part is that dirt that you run on. Oh gosh, brick dust. There we go. I got this. And like I said, it's completely backwards and completely inside out and all of that stuff. But that is a context where you would use this, or maybe that this is your yard and you've got this much grass to sod, and this is your fire pit area that you want to put gravel in. But those are some contexts in which you would need to use something like this. And so you would find the area of the kite, and then you would subtract the area of the circle. And so that's the plan of attack here. Like I said, we're going to skip over that one because of time reasons. Okay, right here. This is like a big triangle with a square cut out. And you have all the information. This is 6 by 6, so you're going to subtract that from the area of the triangle. Sorry, I'm trying to watch my time here because I don't like talking for a whole long time. It makes it kind of boring on your end, I'm sure. And so remember, the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. And so 1/2 of 13 times 12. And so you have calculators, you have math tricks, you have your longhand paper stuff, if that's the way you want to do it, whatever. But the plan here would be take the area of the big triangle and subtract the area of the square. Alternate plan. Do I know that these two are the same size? I don't know. But I mean, you could make that assumption because still all of this is cut out of there. You know what? Just ignore what I said there because that was 1 o'clock in the morning gibberish. Take the big triangle, subtract the square. This one, we have a rectangle. We have a triangle. We don't have a number for the base. We only know what the height is. This could be challenging. Oh, wait, no, because this whole side right here is 7, and this whole side right here is 4, and we know that the entire length of this is 14. So 7 plus 4 is 11. There we go, 11. And this side is 14, so that means that this chunk right here would be 3 feet. And then, you know, the height right there. And so we would go 16 times 4, and then we would add on the 1/2 base times height. And yes, that would be a decimal number because 5 and 3 multiplied together make 15. 15 is not divisible by 2 unless you have a half, which you need a half. Whatever. You have a calculator. You can do decimals in your sleep. It's fine. So that's the general idea. I did show you the ones with the circles because those are the ones that I'm most concerned about. And over here, almost everything, you know, has a circle except for these. And look, this is just like the one that we just talked about. Oh, amazing. So again, here we have half a circle. Here we have a rectangle. Here we have all of this weird stuff. Isn't that weird? Well, this is showing you that the radius is 7 yards, and so that's helpful. Otherwise, you need to determine what is the entire length of the base, what is the height, and remember that a triangle area formula is 1/2 base times height. This looks like the basketball thing where this is the free throw line and this is the key or whatever it's called. Yeah, basketball is not the thing that I know most about, but that's okay. Again, we're cutting out that centerpiece there. There's a couple of different ways that you could do it. This one's so interesting. So look at this. If this is a radius, 8 meters, and this is half a circle, then how long is this whole length right here? If the radius is 8, what is this whole length right there? And that's the trick. That's what you're going to have to think about because that's how you're going to find the area of the triangle. The rest of these I think are pretty straightforward. If you would like to show your work on a separate sheet of paper, you can either write it out and snap a picture, attach it to your assignment. I do need this filled in because this is what I'm going to look at, and then your work needs to support it. If you would rather type your work on a Google Doc, make it all digital and submit it that way, that's your business too. Yeah, if you're having a hard time typing on this because your computer doesn't allow it or whatever, then just let me know and we can work something out. All right, guys, if you have any specific questions, please make sure that you reach out to me. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.